Episode 26. Do you know what 26 is?
I'll have a McDouble with cheese.
Dane, stop. We're starting the podcast right now. What are you doing?
Okay.
Stop talking to the nice the worker.
Well, fine. I'll just take a large fry then.
Okay, large fry. Do you need a drink?
Yes, Diet Coke, please. No ice.
No Mountain Dew?
So they don't have Mountain Dew there.
We're at Taco Bell right now.
I just ordered a McDouble.
Yeah, it's the new thing they're testing now. They're trying the McDoubles at Taco Bell.
It's not how it works, dude.
It is. We're literally at the restaurant. What are you talking about?
Is it one of those 2-in-1s?
Maybe, but just finish your order so we can start the podcast.
All right, and then I'll also have a sausage McMuffin.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing?
And that'll be $27.30.
Okay. Well, Dane's didn't get his food, and we're going to come back at you with the Until Next Week podcast.
Until right now.
We're back. Episode 26.
You know what grinds my gears?
Dane.
What
grinds your gears?
I didn't know if that was going to be a smooth transition.
I mean, you started with it, so I flowed with it. So tell me what grinds your gears. I know what probably grinded your gears. You probably changed your pick. Originally, it was going to be whatever, but now it's like when I am clueless what's happening in the podcast.
No.
Okay. Then what actually grinds your gears, Dane?
What grinds my gears is A, that there's not more seasons of Yellowstone.
Okay.
B, when all the people at work call me fat.
So is this A or B? Okay.
It's both.
Are you fat, Dane?
No.
Then why are you being called fat?
6 foot, 170 pounds for the people watching at home.
Why? Why are you taking this slander towards your character?
Well, the first time I was called fat at work was a few months ago, and it was because my boss walked in and I told her she had a potato head. And
what the heck?
And she said, "Oh yeah, well you're fat." And I'm like,
"Oh my word, Dane!"
At least one of us said a true statement.
What are you doing?
she,
Wait, so she called you fat, and you're like, no, but the potato head is true?
The potato head's true. I'm not fat, clearly, but she kind of got a potato head.
Gosh. So is it Mrs. Potato Head, I guess?
No, she's single.
Okay, so Miss Potato Head.
Miss Potato Head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does she listen to the podcast?
Probably not.
Well, she might need to now.
No, I don't think she should.
Oh, my word. So is she the only one calling you fat out there? Or
no.
Anybody else?
And so I was talking on the phone to some of my subordinates yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, should we do this? Should we do that? I'm like, do this. And then I was like, yeah, remember that time that our boss called me fat? And they go, well, you are fat.
They seriously called you fat? Like, they just insult you all the time?
2 other ladies at my work did call me fat with a PH, though.
Okay. You know, if they were like Disney Channel fans, I bet you they would have called you Perry the Fatipus.
No, you can't say that. But they did comment on a certain backside of mine.
Yeah.
And then said I was PHAT. However, these people who called me fat, FAT, on the phone, they were like, one of them goes, oh, are you talking to Dane? Dane the whale?
God.
And I was like,
hey, I'm not that fat.
I'm not fat, period.
All the time.
Another lady, they asked us what size shirts we want because we have to get uniforms or something now.
Mm-hmm.
And
they were like, we don't have a big enough size for you?
No, I was like, I'll do a medium, and then our person who counts like money and stuff, not an accountant, though.
Yeah.
She does something different.
Yeah.
She walks by and goes, medium with that belly.
Dane, this is you're
unprovoked.
Getting attacked.
All of this was unprovoked on the same day.
What is happening right now? That sounds like a toxic workplace. That's all I got to say.
Well, when in Rome.
When in Rome, yeah.
And so I was like, this is just ridiculous, guys. And then I went outside and threw the football.
Okay, to lose some of that weight.
No. Mainly to take a stand.
Man. Do they make comments like, man, I'm surprised you're out there for 15 minutes. I thought you'd only last 5.
No, they make comments like, are you really taking a break?
Mm-hmm.
We don't take breaks here.
But they would also understand they took the break because they're calling you fat continually.
No, I can't say what my truth is here.
Okay. Man, that's crazy. I didn't know it was that intense. I mean, the potato head, I understand, but then everything else is just uncalled for.
Hey, a lot of things have happened at this place. It's kind of crazy. But
okay.
Yeah, that's what grinds my gears.
That's what grinds your gears. I'm not getting called fat, so that's not really grinding my gears. I'm sorry to let you know that. But what grinds my gears is really myself, and when I fall asleep before setting an alarm.
Is that what happens every time you promise to be here at a certain time and then you don't?
It did happen today, but so I woke up and I was like, I have no idea what time it is, and It was before 8. So
It
I'm
was
like, okay,
Tuesday.
that's cool. That's nice. I should make it on time. But then I fell back asleep again and then woke
There
up
it is.
closer to 10, which still would allow me to get here in time.
10:30 was the target time.
Yeah, but then, I mean, I did get out of bed after that, but I was mainly disappointed because I was going to get a haircut today. As you can see, my hairs are not cut, and it's a little disappointing.
Maybe one of them.
Maybe one?
You got one haircut.
One haircut. Yeah, one of them could have got cut at some
Could
point.
have. We don't know.
Yeah. But I hate it when I just fall asleep randomly and I forget to set alarms, and it just grinds my gears. It stresses me out in the morning. It's a bad start to the day, you know?
You don't need that kind of stress early in the morning.
No. That's
You just need some Folgers in your cup.
Yeah, Folgers is horrible.
I don't know. I don't drink coffee.
I know you're not a big fan of coffee. But
I'm not a big fan. I loathe the coffee.
But again, I think with you've mainly had bad tasting coffees. And
Coffee is disgusting.
I think if you had the right kind,
no,
you might like it.
I won't do it.
We'll see. We'll see. If we find that one that you do enjoy, that could be like the ultimate, maybe future sponsor.
No.
We'll see.
Everybody knows how I would start getting into coffee. It would be clearly for a girl.
Hey. So you're saying there's a chance?
No, there's no chance. But
She only wants to go on coffee dates. You're like, dang it, I hate the date, but I love you.
well, we're Christians, so we just go to coffee shops anyways.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
order something different.
Or we just go there and then don't spend any money, and the people are like,
Yeah.
why are they doing this? And then they're like, well, they're here on a date. Does not buy
Yeah.
anything. It's bad.
Well, I
You
walk
should
up.
buy at least coffee at a coffee shop.
I buy her coffee if I'm on
Okay.
a date.
Well, that's at least something.
But I usually go up and say, "Bring me something that wasn't made in a field."
Okay. I mean, a lot of stuff you eat probably would be made in fields in some
Not
capacity.
This green tea that's sitting next to me, except for the leaves, probably would.
Yeah, the
But-
green part. Yeah.
Not the tea part though.
yeah, the tea wouldn't be.
I want something that's not bean water then.
You know, have you ever tried like normal? Have you ever gone to Chipotle? And
I
be
don't
like, hey,
want
I
your
don't want. I
beans.
don't want a side of water, but could you just get the juice out of the pinto beans and pour me a glass?
Sounds disgusting.
You want some of that bean water?
No, I don't want your bean water, dude. I have a part two of what grinds my gears.
You have a part two?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what also gets up in those. I was gonna say gears. In those gears.
I want to talk about how the West was won.
Go into it right now. Tell me.
We took it. That's it.
That's what grinds your gears. That we took the West.
I mean, kind of, sort of. But also, I was offered land.
Oh. Tell me more about this land. So wait, your gears are grinded because you were offered land as well? That doesn't
Partly.
make sense.
Partly because it's
Put some
just
stress on you?
it's tough because it means saying no to a lot of other things.
Yeah. Wait, where's this land?
Not here.
Okay, you have to decline it immediately because that would make this podcast difficult.
Well, here's what happened. So I
Okay.
was home for Father's Day / my dad's birthday, which are one day apart.
Okay, that's convenient.
Yeah, and then I brought him some items for his birthday and Father's Day.
Mhm.
Spoons,
Mm-hmm.
knives,
Mm-hmm.
more spoons.
We're talking plastic or metal?
plastic.
Okay.
What was the other one?
You
Forks.
said spoons, knives. It looks like you're just going through the normal
Cups,
utensils.
Little paper cups, like mouthwash cups.
Little paper plates probably also.
There were no plates.
Okay,
that wasn't
okay.
in the budget.
Dang.
But
I
no,
thought I had it.
that was just stuff that was in my backseat, and I also got him a gunsling.
Mm-hmm.
I got a bunch of different hot sauce. That was that was kind of funny.
This is a random assortment of gifts, but I kind of like it.
Mark loves it,
Okay.
and he always can need a new gunsling.
Mhm.
But while we're there, we're chatting it up, blah 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 blah. Yeah, Dane's my favorite child. Lindsay
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Cole also sucks.
Yeah.
D. Reed, nice guy, but not. I mean, he's married to his daughter, so
Yeah. He has to say it.
yeah, there's clearly some riffraff going on there.
Also, I just want to point out really quick, Lindsay, she's been very
Lindsay's a hater.
well, no, she's maybe a hater for you, but
Oh,
she's
yeah.
been, I think, a solid lover of the podcast lately. She's been interacting with us lately on Insta. She's sent multiple messages, kind of giving her updates of each episode. She did mention that she really enjoyed, I think, our Pixar draft, and
Good.
she couldn't pick exactly who had a better draft, but
Because
she
I
thought
did.
it was very competitive. Also, I'll just read a couple quick takes she had about episode 21 that we did. I think this was like our overrated picks. And she basically said Target. She loves Target. I don't need
No,
to
she
read everything else she said. Coffee. She said, Dane, be quiet. Swimming. She said, yeah, it kind of stinks.
It does stink.
She did agree that she hated Snapchat as well. So that
Snapchat
was a good
does
one. And then she said, rap is fine, but I agree with Dane that country tells a better story. Rap is more exciting and catchy.
Obviously.
So, I mean, she is kind of on the same thought
Minus the
process
catchy
as
part.
us.
Minus the exciting part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Country music is just overall better.
Okay, but we already discussed this before.
If you listen to rap music, you live in a hole.
I do not live in a hole. I just want to say, though, a couple other quick things that she said because, she's a big fan. I'll let you get back to your story. I'm going to let you finish, but she also said she went to throw her gum out the window while driving, and she accidentally closed the window on her hand very hard. It was excruciating. Not the fingers, like literally my palms and knuckles. I didn't get in a wreck, and that I'm most proud of.
Lindsay, how did that happen to you? I really just want to know.
I think she was she just loved listening to our podcast. Or maybe... Are you disgraced listening to our podcast? You try to roll up the window like no one can hear what I'm listening to right now. This is crazy, but I love it.
No.
Do you think that's it?
No, here's what happened.
Okay.
I know for a fact she's just not a good driver. And the way I know that is because when we were, how old were we? I was like 17, 14? She was like 16.
Yep.
And we were driving to town, and we were on the intercity, and I said, Lindsay, there's a cop. And she goes, no, there's not.
You were on the inner city?
We were in the inner city.
Oh, okay.
But also on it. And then she was like, no, there's not. And we keep driving. I'm like, all right. And then she got pulled over. And then she also rear-ended somebody coming out of a volleyball game, and they called the police on her. So Lindsay is a hardened criminal, is what I'm saying.
So I think if she jumps on next week, her grinding her gear segment will be you calling her out for her poor driving skills.
Well, she did text me something on Thursday.
What is this?
Today being Saturday. Said, can't help but notice I am regularly insulted on every podcast episode.
That is funny. I did not know you had that message. I was just jumping into the other ones.
She texted me that.
That is funny. Which I think that's why she keeps listening. It's like, what are they going to say about me this time?
Well, yeah. I mean, she got stepped on by a horse too, so there's that.
Man. We can't talk about all these stories right now, though. We got to save some for next week, so that way she listens.
Yeah, when we
to the Until Next Week podcast.
So yeah,
has she rated us 5 stars on Instagram or Spotify and Apple Podcast?
She's not very good with technology.
She needs to do that sometime soon.
She also doesn't have Spotify, and people who don't have Spotify, what are you doing with your life?
What does she have?
I don't know. She has some kind of backwoods
listening
alternative music.
We haven't released our CDs and audio tapes yet.
She listens to FM radio.
Hey, I listen to FM radio.
Why?
Sometimes it's just exciting, or not exciting, but you just don't know exactly what's going to come on. And you're not picking necessarily like the shuffle playlist. So that way you're like, oh, this is kind of nice. Because it is better listening to music. Like if one of your songs comes on the radio compared to you picking it, it's better when it's on the radio.
No, I have 1,200 songs that I can shuffle, and I will not get sick of them because they're only increasing every day too.
I would say if you're listening to the radio and one of those songs came on the radio, you would be more excited for it than you would if you just listened to the playlist.
No, because that means that I'm being forced to listen to FM radio, and so for the next 98 songs, I hate all of them.
Yes, which makes that one all the better. That's the whole point, and that's all I got to say about that.
You're right. Instead of all 98 being amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there I was sitting there, blah 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 blah, giving Mark his gifts, and then he's like, him and my stepmom are always like, you should move home until you get back on your feet, and I was like,
Are you not on your... You are sitting down recording this podcast.
I am sitting down. However, I'm like, what do you mean I'm back on your feet?
It's like, did you ever fall down?
No. I'm like, I have a job. I bought a car.
Like, I think you're doing pretty well. You have a podcast?
I have a podcast. I've never been convicted of a felony yet.
Did they bring up this after you started the podcast? You're like, oh, he's depressed.
This was like last week.
Oh.
So...
Like, Dane, you're still doing this podcast thing? You gotta get on your feet. What are you doing with your life?
And then they're like, I'm like, I ain't living here. I don't want all your 1,000 chickens and things like that. And he goes, well, what if we just cleared off a spot for you over there on the other side of the 250 acres and you could live there? And I was like, you think I got money to build a house, old man? Just while I was saying that I was not off of my feet, I was like, oh, I'm not on my feet either. I'm standing, balancing on one foot.
Do you ever see yourself moving back that way, or you think you see yourself here?
Well, I told him, I was like, I got to figure out some things first. I got to get a lady to go live on the land with me.
Yep.
And then I was like, also, we got to build a home there.
Yeah.
And by that time, who knows what happens? Maybe I'm in jail for...
slander.
It's probably not slander. Well, by the time I would be in jail, free speech will be illegal. So
yeah, okay. You heard it here first. That Dane will be in jail, but at least he'll own some land.
Yeah, if you guys have some land that doesn't have me going to jail, that would be great.
Okay, cool. I hope you don't move away.
I hope I get land.
Land would be good, but hopefully it's around here. That would be nice.
Give it to me.
Johnny Morris.
No, I don't want Johnny's. I want somebody else's land.
Someone else's land?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you can have that back part of Bass Pro.
No, I don't want the bad part of Bass Pro.
No, the back part, not the bad part.
Bag part.
Yeah, you can be in like one of the cages with some of the animals. This is our Dane Beesmar exhibit.
I tried to steal an alligator the other day.
Tell me more.
Well, as you guys know, I have many great ideas.
Several. Like, it goes on forever.
One of which being my next costume for Halloween will be called Gradual Mutation.
Ooh.
You want to know how it works?
No.
So I wear a lab coat and a stethoscope and all the doctor stuff, and I walk into the party.
Yeah.
I start talking about all of the experiments I've been doing with alligators, and then every hour I go into the bathroom and I add more scaly makeup, and then exiting back into the party and commenting on my sudden cravings for meat.
Ooh.
And then at the end of the night, I have a mini version of my lab coat and stethoscope in a bag that I'm keeping in the bathroom. And then I unzip the bag. There's the alligator I stole from Bass Pro.
That's brilliant.
I put the mini lab coat and stethoscope on the alligator, and then I release the alligator into the party.
This is your best idea you've
thus
ever had.
completing gradual mutation.
That's amazing. Also, I think that's why you would get arrested.
Stealing it or releasing it into a party full of
I think
people?
that is probably going to be the biggest crime out of the ones you've mentioned so far. Yeah, he stole our alligator and released it into a crowd of people.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Listen, if you get bit by an alligator, that's your fault. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and that's why I said to Steve Irwin.
Exactly.
Well, it wasn't. He didn't get bit. He was a crocodile hunter, but he got impaled by a stingray.
He got stung by the stingray.
That's always unfortunate.
Come on now. I know he didn't get eaten by the crocodile.
Yeah, I
His
know.
son is now doing the same stuff he was doing.
Yeah, but he hasn't died yet.
Not yet.
So he's
I
doing
see him
good.
on TikTok.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a little bit of a new segment, which is kind of something we already do, but we're gonna have a sports talk segment. And basically, we'll just give any sort of quick sport update that we feel like telling our loyal listeners. You might hate this, but this is our podcast. So here we go.
So screw you guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking first here. Yeah, we started our football season a couple weeks ago. You know, we have a work football league because what else do you want to do with your life? But yeah, we've played 2 games now.
Did you win both of them?
We did.
Good.
Guess who the pitcher is?
You.
Yes, I am the pitcher. It's usually you have a minimum of 3 players, and you can have up to 7 players. So how it works is you have like the pitcher, and then you can have up to 4 fielders because you don't run in this football league. It's based off like where you hit the ball is like how many bases you get. But you want to have enough fielders so hopefully they can make a play and get everybody out. But yeah, we've had 2 games, pitched both of them. First game I gave up no runs, I believe. And I think I struck out like 8 people and gave up maybe 1 hit.
He gone.
Yeah, but then the second game, threw no hitter. Yeah, I did. No hitter. I think, again, I had like 8 strikeouts. I did walk like 6 people, including walking the bases loaded in the last inning, so we almost lost.
Dang.
But we brought home the dub. I didn't walk in a run or give up a hit. Another shutout.
Charge them out.
No hitter. And then, yeah, I think I had a triple and maybe like a single and then...
Triple dipper.
Yeah, maybe like a walk and some other outs. But it's fun. It's cool. It's good.
Strike 3.
Yep. But yeah, that's kind of the main sports thing going on in my life. I still have softball, but that's not as exciting. And I just try to hit dingers, but usually I don't anymore because I roll over.
Yeah.
I did get an inside the park home run the other day, which was fun because there's a guy on first base, and most of the people I play with are not very quick. So I'm always like kind of taken as like a cheetah chasing a gazelle.
Not very quick, kind of like Lindsey Reed.
The slander continues. Lindsay, that wasn't me. That's all Dane. Most of the slander is from Dane.
You're slow.
I have no reason to slander you. But yeah, I was like a cheetah chasing a gazelle, and I almost tagged him by the time I reached home plate for the inside the park homer. It was fun. But that's all my sports talk. Dane, tell me what you're talking about.
Chris Paul was traded to the Warriors for Jordan Poole, a first rounder and a second rounder.
That's pretty good.
It made no sense.
Well, I think since for the Warriors because that means they get the contract off their books.
Yeah, that's the only reason they would do it.
That's what I'm saying.
However, I'm like, so you really dislike Jordan that much that you didn't want to pay him or have him on your team at all?
They were paying him a lot of money, and he was incredibly, I think, average this past year.
Yeah, he was, but I'm like, he was amazing the year before.
But then he was incredibly average.
I know, but
It's like Matt Carpenter with the Cardinals. How he had that great year in 2018. They gave him the deal, and then he had a horrible year. And no one was saying he had a great year last year. Everybody was saying this is a bad deal.
See, here's the thing. He's going to go to Washington, Jordan Poole is, and he's going to be amazing.
He's going to be a wizard.
He's going to average at least 25 a game. But that's because nobody's out there, and you can do whatever you want whenever it's
the final score will be 47 to 115.
Yeah.
He'll score 25 to 47.
They're going to lose a lot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because the Warriors are like, we want to bring in Chris Paul, which does not fit our offense at all.
Mm-hmm. I literally was looking at that. I'm like, who is he going to be the point guard? Seth's the point guard.
Well, people assume he's going to come off the bench.
Yeah, sixth man of the year.
And I'm like, yeah, so Chris wants to do that now, but I mean, whatever. I don't know.
Well, they also I saw
care.
was like in the projections is like this could be the starting five and had like Chris Paul and Draymond Green in there. I'm like,
no.
Draymond Green's not going back to the Warriors.
That's what you think.
And well, he declined like whatever his option or opted out or whatever.
Yeah, he declined his player option, but that's in hopes to sign a longer term, like $100 million deal.
I don't think they'll sign him for that.
They might.
I don't know.
He ain't going nowhere else.
Valid.
He'll get the most money from Golden State.
Okay.
That's what it would be. But also,
yep.
Bradley Beal was traded.
Yeah, I was about to say Bradley Beal, he was on the Wizards, wasn't he? Mizzou
made.
Who?
Know, he didn't go to Mizzou.
Oh, no, but he was a Missouri boy, right?
He is a Missouri boy.
Yeah.
He went from the Wizards to the Suns for Chris Paul and all of their second rounders.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Now, Phoenix is just locked into a bunch of nothingness forever. They don't have a pick until 2030.
Mm-hmm.
So they're reaching out to you and I now, seeing if we want to be one of their scouts.
Let's go. Yeah, they do have a lot of prospects and everything else.
They have 0 picks until 2030.
That's
so we could go be their scout.
Let's do it.
We just stay in a motel room and we're like, you want to go watch this today?
Yeah, that's a good life right there. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be good life.
Cool.
Other than that, Porzingis got traded to Boston for a ham sandwich.
I think the person who got the ham sandwich wanted the trade.
Oh, low-key. But no, it was a 3-team deal. Marcus Smart going to Memphis, Tyus Jones going to Washington, and 2 first-round picks and Porzingis going to the Celtics.
Yeah.
So somehow the Celtics got the best player and all the picks in the deal.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how those deals work sometimes.
Sometimes they're crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like when we got all those guys for like Arenado and like we got the best player, they got prospects and we got $50 million. Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how GMs make those deals happen, but it's when they're that lopsided,
they're dummies.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think that's about all our sports talk. That's our sports talk segment.
Swing and a drive next week.
Maybe. We'll see. But, right now we're going to go into our draft because, we enjoy doing... Are you chewing ice?
My McDouble's here.
Oh, you just let it sit for the past 45 minutes?
I was hungry.
The Taco Bell McDouble?
I was hungry.
Yeah, but we're going to draft the highs and lows of weddings.
Ooh.
So the goal here is we both pick 2 of our favorite parts of weddings and 2 of our least favorite parts of weddings, but we can choose them in any order.
True.
And we'll just see how it goes, Dane, we don't even need to flip a coin. I'll let you go first.
Of course you would. You need more time to think. That's what this is
I've
about.
written it out. I'm ready to go. But who are you going to pick with your first pick of the highs and lows of weddings draft?
My first pick is going to be...
Good or bad?
I want to go bad, but I want to go good. Good, making a covenant before God.
That was not on my list.
Just because you hate God.
What? No, don't even say that. Okay, explain.
It's the most beautiful part of the wedding is watching them make vows to each other and coming before God and praying and just coming together as one flesh and just seeing the two finally finding their person kind of thing. But apparently Samuel doesn't believe in true love, so here we are.
Well, we said the highs and lows of weddings. I wasn't looking at it that way.
You're talking about getting high at the wedding. What?
Go ahead. I have the next 2 picks. So I feel like some of my picks could be the good side, or I could do the opposite of it to make it the bad side. And I think for a good side pick, I'm going to go with...
I have a question.
Yeah?
Are we doing this as we're attending the wedding, in the wedding, or like what are we in this wedding?
I'm kind of just saying like weddings in general. I think for both of us, it's more attending the wedding.
Yeah.
Which your pick still is relevant, but I wouldn't have selected it with my top picks, if that makes sense.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with number 1 overall pick. I'm going to go for a wedding that has an open bar that has Shirley Temples and coffee. And I think this also ties with it. I think I'm putting this all in one category, and also a wedding that serves appetizers.
Ooh, I've only been to one of those.
I know, it's
And
amazing.
It was delightful.
It's so good. I went to one, and no joke, the appetizers were better than the main meal. I'm like, why didn't I get more of this ravioli? Like,
I had Swedish meatballs.
Meatballs.
Swedish meatballs.
Oh, the gabagool. The gabagool.
Go me insult my family. But and stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah.
Were there, and I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah,
while
and
setting
like
up inside.
and you hear stuffed mushroom, like that's gonna be nasty, but you're like, this is delicious.
Stuffed mushrooms are great.
There's so weddings with appetizers are just on a whole nother level. Like because you usually don't get that at weddings. There's a lot of times if they have like a little break between the wedding, like the ceremony and the reception, they might have some drinks for you. Maybe. And
my Baja Blast that I brought.
Yeah. And like even in the open bar, we can have Baja Blast in there. But there's just such a great combination there. And especially with the coffee. You don't see coffee very often. I know you don't like coffee, so this is not for everybody, which is why.
Except for I hate coffee.
It's the open bar, so you can get whatever.
I don't want alcohol either.
I know, but I said Shirley Temples. You got the Shirley Temples. That's why I threw
I don't want your temple,
Shirley.
Shirley.
I want Shirley Temples coffee and appetizers, and I'm a happy man at a wedding. And also, I'm actually going to a wedding today, so hopefully they have some of these things. That was unintentional. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Wow, look at us.
I can let you know next week if they have any of our picks. But yeah, I'll be going in there this afternoon. But yeah, it's so good. Food is amazing. So that is my number 1 overall pick. It's specifically the open bar and appetizer, so more like kind of pre-reception food.
Yeah.
So that's my number 1 overall good pick.
Good pick.
Now, for I'm going to go number 1 overall bad pick.
Monogamy.
I'm going to go with a not self-aware DJ. And these are honestly some of the worst weddings when the DJ is just either trying to take the show for himself and it's just like, hey guys, I'm going to go on the dance floor and show you all these moves. I'm like, I don't care about you dancing. I'm just trying to be with my friends here.
It's so loud.
Or they're playing like lots of remixes of songs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Or they're like cutting out of songs really early. I'm like, we were feeling that. Why did you change this slow whatever song?
Yeah.
And like some DJs, they play like way too much slow music or just ones that you don't dance to or too stereotypical of what they think are good wedding songs.
Yeah, like Get Low by Lil Jon.
That's a good one. That's a good one to dance to. You feel something. Like you start kind of moving in ways that you didn't know you could do.
I am feeling something.
Yeah. But one song in particular that I feel like at weddings, DJs think, oh, this is a great one to play. Is Shut Up and Dance With Me.
They play it all the time.
It's not a good wedding. You can't dance to that. It's just people yelling. That's all it is.
How do you shut up and dance with me?
Yeah, it's not a good song for weddings. Like I want songs that like two-stepping songs or like Get Low or like Wobble or like Wop or something like that.
Not Wobble.
Like something or yeah, but Usher. Like those are the songs I want.
Oh man.
And the ones who just play songs are irrelevant or remixes or just are not self-aware. Those are the worst kind of weddings because you'll see it on the dance floor because no one will be there.
All those songs remind me of the Club back in the day.
Club, yeah. In the club,
yeah.
But those are my first 2 picks. I picked the good and the bad.
Club, showing thugs love.
Yeah. But yeah, I have a good my good pick and bad pick. Where are you going for your next 2 picks?
So, I have kind of a controversial one, but I don't know if I want to pick it for that one.
Okay.
But for my second good pick is going to be dancing with single ladies.
Ooh, all the single ladies.
All the single ladies.
Put your hands up.
The single ladies. No, every time I go to a wedding, I feel like I meet somebody new. Specifically, this one time I went to a wedding with a friend, and I didn't know anybody else there. It was crazy.
Yeah, those are the worst sometimes.
They wanted me to be their date for the wedding, and I was like, sure. And then I went there, did not know the bride, did not know the groom, didn't know anybody there.
And you're like, why am I here?
It was funny because I was walking in, I'm playing like guessing. I'm like, I bet that's the bride over there. And the person I was with was like, you really the one that's in the white dress? You think that's the bride? And I was like, yep, I'm locking that in.
And they go over, like, are you the bride? I'm like, no.
No.
I just thought white looked like a good color to wear.
Especially flowy.
Yeah.
But no, it was more fun to guess who the groom was because everybody's in a suit there.
Yeah, everybody's in the same tux.
Yeah, everybody's in the same tux.
Who's
so I'm
wearing
like,
a bow tie?
I was like, I'm gonna go with him over there, and it was him. And then I met him, and they were cool. But I got to dance to all these people like I didn't know, and like made friends with everybody at my table. And so basically, it's not necessarily dancing with single ladies; it's meeting new people.
Oh,
'Cause
so I should change
it to meeting new people.
I'll have dancing with single ladies. Parentheses. Meeting new people.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay.
Because like you're there with your friends who you usually know, and then their friends are also there, and you're like, hey, you don't suck either.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is really nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna take that one.
So it looks like you've used up your good picks. So
Yeah.
now you're on the bad picks side.
Because those are the only two good things at a wedding.
only things.
The only good things.
Yeah.
I have an honorable mention, but we'll mention that later.
Yep.
So the bad thing that I'm going to mention is all the photos.
All the photos.
All of them, man.
That
There's-
I like where you're going with this.
100 million photos. I'm like, I get it, ladies. You want the same photo from a slightly different angle at a slightly different period that the sun was in the sky. And, oh, nope, we need them inside now. We need them over here. We're going to go jump in the river and then get a photo of us swimming downstream together while we're here.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, like record, like film the wedding, take like some photos.
Are you saying for like the bride herself getting lots of photos?
Just
you're
like,
annoyed at that, or you're annoyed more at everybody else wanting to take photos at a wedding?
both.
Okay.
Because everybody, like, I like the people that are like, hey, this is a phone-free zone. Like, everybody's taking photos and stuff
like,
of
who
it.
cares? I don't want your random side picture with your grainy camera when I have a professional photographer taking my wedding photos.
And now, in all of these photos, we're going to see Uncle Ned and his arm reaching out.
Uncle
trying
Ned's
to take
the
a
worst.
photo. Yeah, Uncle Ned sucks. But then that, and then all the photos that people want to take at weddings, too, like with each other and whatnot. I'm like, we've been to a wedding before. It's fine. Like, if you want to take one with the bride and groom, whatever. But also, if I'm the bride, if I'm the bride, I'm just like, dude, quit taking photos with me, everybody. I understand. It's blah, blah, blah. We've been friends for so long.
Yeah.
Whatever. But also, all the weird people come up to me, too, as the bride. And they're like, hey, you remember me? I'm your second uncle twice removed from Alberta, Canada. I'm like, no, I don't know you, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the photos.
Okay. Good pick. For my final two picks, I got to pick I think I got to pick a good and a bad. So for the good, I'm going to keep it on a similar pattern.
All the baddies?
As what I had. I have a lot of honorable mentions. There's a lot of good honorable mentions here. One of the other good ones is a very good main meal. I'm going food heavy picks.
I almost said food.
But because it's easy to mess up. Like sometimes, like I don't think it should be easy, but I've been to weddings before where like, this is gonna be some great food and it sounds great and I'm excited and I take that first bite and I'm like, you paid way too much for
I don't want
whatever
barbecue.
I just put in my body.
Yeah. I don't want barbecue. I want a taco bar, guys.
Well, I mean,
make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand having some of those other options because it does make sense to save money. But even there are times where people have like nicer food, quote unquote, but it just tastes bad. Like, didn't you taste test this ahead of time?
Yeah, didn't you like go to these places, like catering places, and be like, hey, can I try a sample of your mac and cheese? Can I try a sample of your brisket? Can you get me a 12-pack of Baja Blast? Because obviously at my wedding, that's one of the non-negotiables to my future lady friend.
Yeah.
Is there will be a Baja Blast fountain at our wedding.
I hope so.
Oh,
I look forward to it.
No,
someday.
hoping to it. I'm putting my foot down right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know her.
Yeah.
Unless I do.
You might. There's a decent chance you do potentially know her.
They say by the time you turn 21 or something, you have already met the person you're going to marry.
That's nuts.
I know.
That's nuts.
You know what that means.
You've bet them.
They must be in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
No, I don't know.
But yeah, great food is great at weddings. Bad food is bad at weddings. But that was my great pick, my good pick for weddings.
That was a good pick.
So now I got to go with my bad pick. And again, I think there's multiple ways I can go with this, but I'm going to go with extremely long weddings.
Yeah.
And this is like the main reception, or not reception, like ceremony. Like sometimes they just drag it on and on and on and on.
And now we're going to read all of 1 Corinthians.
Yeah. And now, okay, we got to go through the Song of Solomon so you know what to do later.
Which is really inappropriate.
Yes. Some weddings just go on forever. And then I feel like with those weddings that are longer, then typically right after like the ceremony, then they have a big like gap before they even get to like the reception.
I'm like, all the chairs inside.
I'm like, what is happening right now? You don't want those giant long gaps where by the time you get to like the reception, it's late. Like I think
late.
People are looking forward to the reception. If you're having like a really long build up to that, it's not as great, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when I can cut loose.
Yeah.
Go get the cooler of Mountain Dew that I stashed.
Yeah.
And then eat your free food.
Well, yeah.
Talk to the people I came with.
Yeah.
Be like, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, the bride and groom need to realize the wedding's about the guest, not about them.
Not about them. Dang it.
Get it right. You don't need your photos to like remember everything. You don't need to spend time with your person you just married. Like, get in there so we can hit the dance floor.
You come to my house, you get my wife's name right.
Yes.
Christineth.
Christineth? Yeah. That's who you're marrying?
No.
Man.
Watch the other guys once in your life.
But yeah, that's my bad pick. Just really long weddings. Like, get to the point and then let's party.
Party time.
Okay, who's your final bad pick?
All right. This is not a shot at anyone in particular, especially not the people whose wedding we may have been at last weekend.
Wait, but they're going to be a sponsor of the week. Is this okay? Do you think
they
they care? I don't know.
I don't think they care.
Okay.
This is not inherently their fault.
Okay.
Outdoor weddings.
I enjoyed it.
No.
But theirs was good. But you can say with other people. So this is talking about other people's.
Theirs was decent because it was like 73 degrees.
It was nice. It felt nice.
It was okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay. But I went to one like a month ago and it was 85 degrees. We're all in suits. The groom is sweating. Actually, he's sunburnt. He's sunburnt because he's standing in the sun trying to watch his beautiful bride walk down the aisle, but he can't see because the sun's in his eyes. And nobody can control the sun. And now it's hot.
Except the father.
Yeah, that's true. Except for the father. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So, like, it's always good in theory. They're like, oh, I want to be outside in nature and this and that. You know what you never account for? The bugs.
Yeah.
There's so many bugs. There's so many people sweating. No one ever knows that it's actually going to be an outdoor wedding until you show up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, what did I just step in? Is that horse manure? It could have been.
Well, I think also with this, it can tie back to what I said. Like, if you keep it as a short outdoor wedding, it might not be that bad. But if it's a long outdoor wedding, like I went to a long outdoor wedding a few years ago, and I'm pretty sure it's not as bad for us because we're sitting down. But for like the groomsmen and the bridesmaids,
oh my goodness,
they have to stand up there in the heat. And I remember there was at least one person who almost like passed out from standing in the heat for that long.
And they definitely have to wear a suit or a tux. You can't kind of moderately dress up.
Yeah.
If you're in the wedding.
Yeah. Like you can't just wear your jorts like Uncle Steve.
Oh,
like you got to dress up and look nice.
I should wear. I looked for my jorts this morning, couldn't find them because I was going to wear them on my walk I went on this morning. But here we are, can't find them.
Hey.
Speaking of which, I owe the people in K-Life wearing those jorts to our first meeting in the fall because I owe Keaton Bliss that.
I can't remember. What was the bet again?
I ran a half marathon, and if I walked at any point, I would have to wear.
Oh, so we are counting you as a loser there. I thought you were going to
lost, but
I thought you were going to sneak and be like you're the winner, even though you did walk.
I am a winner, but
you're going to wear the jorts anyway. He doesn't have to wear the dress.
He does not have to wear the dress.
That's disappointing.
But I got to wear my Daisy Dukes and my cutoff T-shirt that says "The Rats Are Back."
It's gonna be funny when you show up and no one says anything because they thought, "Oh, that's just what he felt like wearing today."
Low key.
Yeah, it's be good.
I'll wear my cowboy boots too.
That's gonna be the second time you've had to dress up weird for a K-Life meeting. Another time you had to have like that full suit for like prom.
Yeah, I hated that one.
Yeah.
Samuel knows the context.
Yep.
I definitely lost that one on purpose.
Yeah, but yeah, those are our picks. I'm going to quick rundown one more time. You can let us know what you think. Both Dane's picks for his good picks was Making a Covenant Before God. Horrible pick. And then Dancing with the Single Ladies / Meeting New People. His bad picks were all the photos and outdoor weddings. My good picks were apps in an open bar. And then also a great main meal. Food's the best, obviously, at weddings. And then bad picks are unself-aware DJ, and then also extremely long weddings. So, let us know what you think. Leave us a 5-star on Apple Podcasts and leave us a written review and let us know how we did. Or you can leave us a voice memo. And you know what? Voice memos, we've been promoting them for so long, and no one has sent us a legitimate voice memo.
Even Lindsay.
Well, she's kind of talked to us, but she hasn't left us like a recorded one. But you know what?
What?
We have finally received our first voice memo that we're going to play on the pod. We received this a while ago. I have not listened to it. I have no idea what's about to happen. You haven't listened to it. So we're going to get our first reactions. And I don't even know it might just be we listen and we're like, cool.
If it's bad, that's the beautiful part of editing.
Yes. So here is if I can pull it up 1 second. Dane, keep talking about anything right now.
All right. Well, one time when I was in fifth
grade.
grade.
Found it. So this is from, and we've talked about her before on the podcast. I believe it is Allie Hoopy, but she might say her name on the podcast, like on the voice memo. We'll see, but we're going to play it right now.
Hey guys, this is Allie Hoopy from Indiana, and I'm a fan of the Ghost Runners podcast. At one time, Samuel posted somewhere in that community that he was starting a podcast, and I'm obsessed with podcasts. I listen to probably 4 or 5 a day while I'm at work, and I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot. So I tried out until next week, and I've been here since day one, and I'm still here. So I thought I'd give you guys a draft idea, and my idea is the best chips. So I'm talking Doritos, I'm talking Lay's, I'm talking Sun Chips, whatever your heart desires. So anyways, guys, keep up the good work, and peace out.
Wow.
I love you.
I was like, so yeah, I listen to Ghost Runners, I listen to all these podcasts, I listen to 5 a day, and then I tried yours, and I'm just leaving you a voice memo to say, just stop what you're doing.
Ours is that bad.
Yeah.
No.
Man, that's cool.
Wow. Basically, we own Indiana now.
I think we do. Okay, so we have that state down. We own Missouri.
We own several different countries.
If you leave us a voice memo from a different state, we officially own that state now. So
That's
please leave us those voice memos.
Also,
and yeah,
I've been to Indiana before.
Wow.
Because
so have I.
Because I have there was a guy who I was a buddy with. His name's OG Ananobi.
Oh, you've talked about him, yeah.
But
yep.
I went and watched him play at the University of Indiana whenever he was going there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went like back in the locker room and stuff. And that was kind of cool. They get free Chick-fil-A every game.
Yeah. Hey, was that in college or NBA, you said?
College.
But he's in the NBA now?
He's in the NBA now.
I was going to say, if that was just like NBA thing, yeah, they in the NBA, they get free Chick-fil-A. Wow.
No, they get free everything.
That's so dope. That's awesome.
Allie Hoopy, she said Hoopy, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Allie Hoopy, thank you so much for that. And
we'll draft those top chips. We'll probably do it next week. We'll have to wait until next week.
Samuel's chips suck.
You don't know my chips, but that's a good
You're probably
draft.
going to take Cool Ranch Dorito.
We aren't going to debate it now. We're going to talk about it next week. Or as I say, we're going to wait until next week podcast.
By the way, next week's like the 4th of July, so we need to record before
we will record
Saturday.
it, and I leave Friday.
You leave Friday?
For Wisconsin. So it sounds like we're recording probably Wednesday night.
Woo! Dang it.
I didn't think about that. So we can do that then. We can draft the top chips, do whatever else we want to do. But thank you again for leaving us that voice memo. It honestly does mean a lot, and I'm happy that it was positive.
Me too. I thought it was going to be somebody just dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah, just like, because that would be our clientele. Not clientele. That would be the people who listen to this podcast.
Maybe the ones that you bring to this podcast.
Yeah. You're the one who brings most of the people. Like everybody who follows Instagram, I look, I'm like, who's this person? Oh, followed by Dane Biesmeyer.
Not
followed
me.
by Dane Biesmeyer. My friends don't want to listen to me.
Everyone knows my name, not my story.
Yeah. Well, Jack Holmgren, he does like listening to
That's
me.
true.
We've talked about him before.
Shout out to Jack.
He does like listening to this podcast.
What does he know?
Yeah.
You know what you told me before this podcast? You said you wanted to fight him.
I did not say that because he's a very big boy.
Samuel said, and I quote, bleep that guy.
Hey, Jack, you know I would not say that.
I heard it.
You're the best. You're awesome. And I hope you're still listening because you had listened to like all the other episodes. So I do have friends that listen. I also have a work friend, Nathan. You know who you are. Thank you for listening.
I bet his
I hope
name's
this
Nathan.
brings you a smile that I'm saying your name, Nathan. right now.
to every
And when you
aisle.
hear this part right now, let me know because I'll probably be at work next to you. But yeah, that's our voice memo. All positive things from Allie, and we'll jump into that draft in a future episode, most likely this next week. And cool. Yeah, that's fun.
Wow.
Wow. Do you know what we haven't done yet?
The sponsors.
The sponsors of the week. And I might, you should talk right now because I don't know what's about to happen.
All right. Well, number one is definitely going to be Jesus again. And to go on from that is the verse of the week. And
What is the verse of the week?
The verse of the week is always whatever I'm reading at the time.
That's a great way to pick a verse of the week.
Exactly. And so it's 1 Corinthians 12. And let's start right here at verse 7. It's going to be 7 through 11.
Mm-hmm.
For to one is given through the Spirit the utterance of wisdom, and to another the utterance of knowledge according to the Spirit, to another the faith of the Spirit, to another gifts of healing by one Spirit, to another working of miracles, another prophecy, another the ability to distinguish between spirits, to another various kinds of tongues, to another interpretation of tongues, all of these empowered by one and the same Spirit who portions to each one individually as he wills. So it's talking about gifts.
Yeah.
Spiritual gifts that God bestows upon us. And it's really cool because people are like, oh, well, I have this really cool ability to like have prophecy, and just that'd be wild. Just like seeing prophecies and kind of interpreting those, but then also tongues and the interpretation of tongues. And I believe I have the gift of wisdom, but what, dude?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed there.
Take it. But no, it's just things that I think about and whatnot, and just like the number of thoughts that enter my head a day, and things amongst that. But just that the gifts of the Holy Spirit are not gone by the wayside. They're still here and they're still present among us. We just don't always necessarily look for them.
Yeah, and then even when you do look, you still got to discern, like, is this like legitimate, or is someone just trying to pull your leg here? So
Pulling legs.
And with having the wisdom, you're able to be aware of those situations when they might occur.
Yeah. Things like that.
So yeah, that was our verse of the week, and Jesus, our number one sponsor.
And the wisdom to not mention Jake Trustinar as our number 2 sponsor.
Yeah, we're not going to mention our number 2
Send
sponsor.
us more money, Jake.
We're not going to mention our number 2 sponsor this week, who would have been Jake Trust and Art. So we're not going to mention Jake Trust and Art, who you can get all your art from if you go to his website, which is, you can probably just search his name, Jake Trust and Art, and you'll find it. And you definitely should not buy his book that he wrote and get a signed copy. You should not do that.
Yeah.
And you should not buy any of his art. So
I don't want anybody else to send us money. I only want Jake Trust and Art to send us money.
Well, Lane's parents can still send us free gifts.
That's true. We figured out that it's Jennifer Rogers and Jim Rogers who sent us the Mountain Dew and the Capri Sun.
Yes, Dane's housemate Lane, his parents, are big fans of the Until Next Week podcast.
Yeah.
And we noticed that did not get passed down to their son because Lane hates us.
Yeah, that's true. Lane hates us. And in fact, Jennifer and Jim, if you're listening, Lane often greets me every morning by saying, "Hey, screw you," and then leaving. And I wish I was lying. That's so true. But I think it's funny.
Oh, man.
But then I always say something to him like, "Oh, yeah, well, I hope you get both of your nostrils stuffed up tonight and you wake up with dry mouth." Or I hope your phone runs out of minutes during an important phone call.
Runs out of minutes.
Yeah.
Who has minutes nowadays?
You don't know.
Most people have unlimited.
I bet a lot more than you think would.
That's nuts. No one probably around our age.
Yeah, definitely no one our age.
That's funny.
You know,
except Lane.
I have a hot take for next week, but I'm going to say it now so I don't forget.
Okay,
I think that people with Androids should not be allowed to vote in this country.
And I'm going to edit out everything about you. I'm going to make you say some really bad stuff so you do get fired.
Fire me.
The Android people are the one who run this country.
You don't have an Android, dude, or do you?
I do.
Oh, you're not. You shouldn't vote in this country.
How do you not know I have one of these?
I should have known. Our messages are green, and it fills me with rage every time.
Yeah. No, every time you're just like, okay, yeah, just come over. We can do the pod. Cool.
That's not what I said. I said I don't believe you're going to be here at 10:30.
Yeah. But we're all good. We're all good.
Who's our last sponsor?
I honestly showed up like 10:40 today. Like it wasn't anything big, and we didn't really say like exact time. I said around 10:30.
It was close-ish.
Yeah, so we were good.
Grayson and Trent, or Trent and Grayson?
Or
Trentson.
I feel like you got to say
Grint.
maybe you say Grayson and Trent because typically you put the female first.
Or Grint.
Grint.
Or-
Grint or Trayson.
Trayson.
Yes. Trayson has finally happened. They are our third sponsor of the week.
Because they got married.
Which means they are now one, which is why they're the third sponsor of the week.
That's true. They can only be one because they are now one flesh, which I've also been told is inappropriate to say to people. Dane.
Gosh.
I'm like, how? How is that inappropriate? I'm quoting scripture.
Yeah, I don't know. But they got married, so they are our third sponsor of the week. We
Freaking
mentioned them.
married
They've been here since the beginning of the pod. I think episode 1's we talked about male engagement rings.
Yeah, Trent.
And that was because of Grayson. She was like, "Hey, we got engaged, and he needs a ring," basically.
Yeah, she wanted to lock it down. And also, at their wedding, they wrote those personalized cards to each person.
That was so nice.
That was so nice. And so, like, the groom wrote it to all the people that he knew, and the bride wrote it to all the people she knew. We knew both of them.
Yeah.
So they left me 2 notes, and Trent said, "Dane, we should have fought the first time we met like you said we should." Because, backstory, Grayson would join K-Life before Trent did about a year, and then I would go up and talk to her or whatever, and she goes, "Hey, so I told my boyfriend about you," and I said, "You did what now?" and I was like, "Why?" And she goes, "Well, I told him like you're funny and this and that." I'm like, "You should not do that.
You should not tell your boyfriend about this other male you met that's so funny,
Yeah.
and good looking, and just amazing, and a great kisser. Like you don't tell."
Whoa. Never done that.
Yeah.
But and I was like, "Why did you do that?" And she goes, "I don't know." And then later on, she's like, "Yeah, he's joining K-Life," and I told him that you want to fight him. And I was like, "Again, did not say that."
Wow, she's putting a lot of words in your mouth.
She did that, and then he
That's
showed up,
amazing.
and he turns out to be a great guy.
That's super awesome.
And he furthers on the comment by saying it's so fun to talk about the Cowboys and the Redskins together. So when he came over to our table, I said, "Hey, it's really nice that you included in our note that you wanted to fight me, and then you used a racial slur." Said it really loud. Is what.
That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah. Whenever if I would have for honorable mentions, we didn't say any, but that's the first time that's happened to me. But I've heard about it before, about like the groom or bride leaving personalized message for each guest.
That's crazy.
And like that takes so much time, especially and that was a good sized wedding. So like that is so stinking cool.
Especially if people don't show up.
Yeah, I mean it's so nice. Like that means a lot because you did put a lot of effort into it. It's not like you're just typing it up. Like it was handwritten notes. So yeah, that was super cool of the both of you, and I look forward to seeing how your guys' marriage goes.
I demand more handwritten notes.
Yeah, handwritten notes are not happening enough nowadays, and I want to bring them back. But we don't want to go down this rabbit hole because we're at a pretty good stopping point.
We need
currently.
to end it because I need to go potty. I do.
On that note, this has been the Until Next Week podcast.
I gotta go.
Peace.